Last week at orientation for my Goldman Sachs Black in Business cohort 9, by the way, was nothing short of amazing. Like, nothing I could have imagined. I've walked in rooms where I felt like I'm here to network, but when I walked in that room, I felt like I'm here to learn and grow and be surrounded by people who look like me and who also understand exactly what I'm doing in my business, and not necessarily the services, but what I'm trying to grow here. But while I was there surrounded by those incredible people, I had a realization about myself. It's the reason why we're having this conversation today. What I realized is that I needed to do a much better job of explaining what it is that I actually do. Because when I say I'm a customer retention strategist, people look at me and are like, so like emails? I realize that's a problem. During this episode, we're going to get into exactly what is customer retention strategy. Welcome to More Than a Brand Podcast, the podcast for scaling founders who have hit the 100K mark and realize what got you here won't get you there. My name is Lindsay Trammell Jones, the People CXO and the CEO of Fierceified Creative and Consulting. This show is dedicated to the art and science of customer retention. It's time to stop chasing the next lead and start stewarding the ones you've already got. You've done the hard part by building the vision. Now let's build the machine. This is More Than a Brand. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to this episode of More Than a Brand podcast. First things first, and I want you to hear this clearly. You cannot retain what you do not have. If you do not have a steady, consistent flow of clients and customers coming through your door, then retention strategy is not your first priority right now. And I would never steer you wrong on that. Yes, you should absolutely have some kind of retention practices in place always, okay? But if you are a small business owner who is still struggling to bring in new clients consistently, don't trade your acquisition efforts in for retention efforts. And let me be real with you, acquisition and retention, they work together. They're not enemies. You don't have to be pro-acquisition or pro-retention, but they are partners. If you're in an early stage hustle mode, if you're still trying to build a reliable pipeline, focus on that first. Focus on filling that pipeline. Get people in the door. Then we talk about how are we going to keep them forever. That's the caveat when it comes to retention strategy. Now let's talk about what retention actually is. At the core, I looked up some textbook definitions because I want to make sure we made this as clear as possible. Retention strategy at its core is this. It's the systems, processes, and initiatives you have in place to keep the clients you've already won. That's it. No big mystery. That's the definition. But here's where people get it twisted. They hear retention and they think it's just about getting people to buy again. That's part of it, but it's not the whole picture. Retention is about keeping people inside your business ecosystem, whether they're buying directly, referring their friends, engaging with your content, or showing up in your community. If they're still connected to you and not your competitor, that is retention working. Now, let me give you some real world examples so this clicks. What retention actually looks like in the wild could be different things. One of the first examples that I want to give you is the loyalty program. Now, I know for a fact that somewhere on your phone right now, you have an app where you collect points, maybe it's favorite coffee, favorite fast food chain, and you know what happens. Real talk, is your business currently a duct tape masterpiece? Like you're hitting your revenue goals, but behind the scenes you are struggling because your customer journey is manual, messy, and dependent on you to function? That's why I created Flowtribe. This isn't a program. It's a 10-week engineering sprint for founders who've hit that 100K revenue and they're ready to stop being a bottleneck and holding things up. We use my proprietary RISE method to rewire your infrastructure. We alternate between brain weeks to learn the strategy and build weeks to actually deploy the systems. We start with a flow MRI to find your invisible revenue leaks in 15 minutes. Listen. Stop patching processes and start engineering a flow. Apply for the next Flowtribe cohort at flowtribe.co. That's FLOWTRIBE.co. Let's build your machine. Now back to the episode. When you haven't been there in a while, have you noticed it? You get a notification like, hey, your name, we haven't seen you in a minute. Here's a free chicken biscuit. Chick-fil-A sends me messages like that all the time. The Baltimore area Chick-fil-A's would like to give you a free chicken biscuit. And it usually comes when I have not been in Chick-fil-A in a while. So it's like, hey, big head, come get it. And what do you do as a customer? Because I know what I do. As a customer, I go get that chicken biscuit and I'm going to buy the drink. Because usually I'll just drink water. But I'm going to buy the drink because I did not have to pay for the food. Or maybe you grab something else. You're back in their ecosystem being active, making a purchase and feeling good about it because 1, they thought about you. 2, they pulled you back in. And 3, you are spending money again with this company. So it's a win-win for you both. The example number 2 I want to give you is the referral program, which is one of my favorite. Because maybe your business model isn't built for loyalty point systems. Maybe you offer a service. And here's where the referral program becomes one of your most powerful retention tools. And people sleep on this. When you create a referral program, you're not just rewarding people for sending you new business. You're giving your existing clients a reason to stay in your orbit. You are the person they are actively advocating for because there's something in it for them. Whether it's a cash incentive, a discount, or credit towards the next service, access to something, there's something in it for them. And here's the bigger picture. If your services aren't structured in tiers where there's one offering naturally leads a client to the next level of growth, then the referral program is what keeps people engaged within your ecosystem instead of them sending their people to your competition. People love a good freebie or love a good incentive to get them to move in. Those are 2 ways you can improve your retention. One way is getting people to continuously buy, and the other way is encouraging people to bring their friends with an incentive. There's a mindset shift I want to leave you with today. Retention is not just about getting people to continuously purchase, as we saw in those 2 examples. It's about how you keep people connected to your business in some meaningful way and letting that connection continue to generate revenue without you having to constantly chase new clients. That could look like someone buying from you directly again. It could look like them sending their referrals your way. It could look like them engaging with your content or reposting your content, keeping you top of mind so that when they're ready to buy again, you are the first call they make. When you build retention into your business, you stop starting from 0 every single month or every single week with trying to get new clients. You start building it on a foundation. And that is the work I do. Not just emails, but a strategy. That's the breakdown, y'all. Retention strategy is the systems, the programs, the touch points, and the experiences that keep your people with you and keep your business moving forward without burning yourself or your team out chasing cold leads, hoping you get seen on the algorithm forever. If this episode hit differently, share it with a business owner who needs to hear it. Leave a review, subscribe, and do all the things. Be in my retention ecosystem. And if you want to talk about what retention strategy could look like for you inside your business, find me at fierceified.agency. The link is always in the show notes. And until next time, remember, we are more than a brand. We are building something that lasts. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Remember, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date. Find us on social media at fierceified.agency on Instagram or find us on Facebook at Fierceified Creative and Consultant.